Hey guys, so recently I did a video about makeup products I just cannot stand, and then I started thinking and I was like, hold on, there were some other ones that I missed out and that I just kind of need to tell y'all about. So this is 5 more makeup products that I can't stand. Okay, so number 1. Eyeshadow palettes that have shades which are so similar to one another. I don't understand why this is even a thing. It's like you have a brown and then you've got another brown which is like a hair off, and then you got another brown which is just a hair off from that one. And it's like, if you were to put this one and this one on each eye, nobody will know the difference. So why do we need to put shades which are basically the same, which are just so similar to one another in the same palette? And I'm not talking about like having a matte pink and then having a shimmer pink which is similar. No. I'm talking about the same finish. So let's say it was matte shadows we're talking about. You know, you have a brown or you have a beige and another beige which is so similar to one another, and it's like, but why do you need to have both of those beiges in there when you can't really tell the difference? Like, it just, like, why are we doing this? Is it that you've just run out of ideas and you're just kind of like, oh, I need to fill the space, so let's just put another one of those ones in? That really gets on my nerves. Makeup stamps. You know, like, I've seen a few people on Instagram and they have like stars or hearts or moons or whatever on their face, and they're like, but they're stamped on, like these little makeup stamps. Like, I can't, that this is just, I just can't stand those. I just don't understand why they exist. It's like, why do you need to have makeup stamps? Like, okay. To me, it just seems really like childlike to have these little makeup stamps. I just can't get down with it, and it's fine if you like them or if you own them, whatever, that's perfectly fine. But for me, I just kind of see it as so childlike and just like, we just don't need these, okay? Next, palettes with creams and powders together. This is like a pet peeve of mine. So like, let's say for example, I've got a few palettes which are like this actually. So for example, I have a sleek highlighter palette. I've got a few sleek highlighter palettes that are like this, and they have cream highlighters and then they have powder highlighters. Now I mainly use my powder highlighters over my creams, okay? And when I'm putting my brush in, it's kicking up a lot of highlight dust and it's going straight into the cream highlight, and then it ruins the cream highlight, and then I end up not being able to use the cream highlight. So it's like, why do you put creams and powders together when the powder is going to ruin the cream? Why do this? I just don't understand it. Like, why? Like, there have been a couple of brands that have had the common sense to have like a cover over the cream, and whether or not it's in an eyeshadow palette and like they have like a little concealer or something, there have been a couple of brands that have had the common sense and put a little cover over the creams so that it doesn't get destroyed, seeing as they so adamantly want the cream and the powder to be in the same palette. So yes, do create a cover, but it's just kind of like, for the ones that don't do this, it's like, can you just either make a cream palette or a powder palette? But why do both? Like, why? I'm not gonna be able to get the use out of the cream and I'm paying for it. I'm having to scrape that layer off. So either way, I'm losing product. Either way, I'm losing products. Like, oh. Next, all shimmer palettes. I cannot stand all shimmer eyeshadow palettes. I think Fenty did this at one point. There's been other brands who have done it, but I'm like, Fenty is one that sticks out in my mind like a sore thumb. It's like, look, nowadays people use mattes and they might put a shimmer, but nobody uses like shimmer all over their eyes to create a look. Not unless it's like an editorial thing, like when you're flicking through magazines and you see like all shimmer eyeshadow looks, it's like, okay, but it's acceptable because you know it's just for the photograph, it's just for the photograph. But for somebody who's actually going to be buying that and using it on a daily, why would you create an all shimmer eyeshadow palette? How do you expect that consumer to use that on its own? Like, I cannot stand palettes that I have to draw other, like I have to get a companion palette to use like alongside it. Like why are we doing this? I should be able to create a look using one palette. I shouldn't have to get this palette to use with that one. Not unless like you really want to like mix and match and, you know, do all of that. But generally, I would like to be able to have a palette and say, okay, I can use these 4 shadows and I can create one look. But you cannot do that with an all shimmer palette. Like, no one does their makeup like that. Not anymore, at least anyway. So please, can we just stop making all shimmer eyeshadow palettes, because it's just so unnecessary. And lastly, we have palettes or products that do not match the theme. Okay, so for example, Dominique Cosmetics and Maybelline, they both came out with lemonade palettes, but they had nothing to do with lemonade. Like, they had 1 or 2 yellow shades, and then the rest of it was like brown. How is that lemonade, please? How is that lemonade? Recently, I can't remember the name of the company, but somebody came out with like a pizza palette. Now, I did not like this palette personally. Like, it wasn't my kind of flex, but the shadows inside, like red onion, mushroom, extra cheese, and anchovy, and this, that, and the other, they had all these different shadow names, and the colors matched the shadow names, and the shadow names matched the theme, which was pizza. So it was like, all of these colors are reminiscent of what is on a pizza, and it matched. It actually, like, it made sense. Like, when I looked at the colors and I thought of what the names were representing, it made sense. But it's just, when people are coming out with like these cherry palettes and these lemonade palettes, and it has nothing to do with the colors that are inside, I'm just kind of like, what? This don't make no sense. This don't make no sense. How are you gonna bring out a purple palette and only have 2 purples? How are you gonna bring out a cherry palette and only have 1 red? I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, those were 5 makeup products that I cannot stand. Like, tell me what your peeves are when it comes to makeup, etc, etc. Anyway, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.